over some of this credit with the business credit. You know, my thing is the personal side, but I was able to build credit, not knowing by being that hairstylist, doing the things that I just gave y'all tips on, the Uline, the Dell computer. I went out and I put my card in my business name. So, guys, sometimes when you're not educated, you're doing things that getting you somewhere, but it's always great to have a professional and someone that's knowledgeable. So I want to welcome to the show Miss Tyra Jacqueline. She is a business credit coach as well as personal credit, because that is my business partner. And now we can take more questions, and I have some questions that we're going to go over, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself, because not only does she does financial literacy business credit, but she used to work for a company that actually puts all this in place, and they monitor us. So Tyra, take it away. Let's learn a little bit about you, and then we'll get into the questions and answers.
Hey Mel, how you doing, love?
I'm great. Welcome to Making Money Moves with Melody. Let's make that money move, girl.
That's what we doing. We making these money moves out here, and we also out here we educating folks so y'all can make money moves as well. Just like Melody said, we wasn't taught these things in school, and there's things against us that they don't want us to know this stuff, period. So we got people, there's a lot of influencers, you know, me and Melanie ourselves, we are both financial literacy influencers on the personal and the business side as well. And we out here, we teaching you guys, you know, how to not just get financially literate, but how to learn how to use other people's money, because it's important, because that's what the wealthy folks do. They don't use their own. They know how to leverage functional debt. They know how to leverage other people's money, which is this thing we call credit, rather if it's personal or business. Okay. So just to give a little background about myself, guys, y'all know me. I'm known as Tyra Jacqueline, also call myself the Creditator. Okay. Some of y'all old enough to know where I got that from. Okay. The Creditator. Okay. So I also have backgrounds in real estate and insurance. I worked in social services for many years. I worked with children. I worked in a lot of schools over the city of Philadelphia, in elementary school and middle school. I worked in residential homes. I also, like I said, I have backgrounds in real estate. I was a realtor when I lived in Florida, and I'm currently studying to get licensed in Pennsylvania as well. And like I said, I did insurance. I did it in the field. I did it in the call centers. You know, so I've been around a lot in my short time on this earth, and I'm very thankful to the big man upstairs to allow me to be in certain arenas and certain things that happen in my life to force me to have to actually go into entrepreneurship, why I had to go get those licenses, because I couldn't get a job. Okay. So I'm thankful for those experiences and the things I learned along the way. And I learned a whole lot of things the hard way. So what our goal here is, guys, is to give y'all information that we learned the hard way or paid a lot of money to get, so it can be easier for you. And y'all see this little person behind me? This is my youngest business partner right here, the beauty right here, the princess. Y'all actually used seeing her a lot, so she being silly, but here she is right there.
The advantage of work from home, right?
Yes, and being a home mommy, because you gotta be mommy, and we gotta wear all these 50 hats all at the same time. But it is what it is.
Yes. And you just left out something.
What did I leave out?
Where did you just retire from?
Oh yes. Let's talk about that for a second. So actually, guys, I worked for y'all favorite 3 letters of the alphabet come April 15th. And that's, you know, the internal, you know what, service. After a decade, I walked away to be a full-time entrepreneur, also so I could be more present for my daughter. She's in a very curriculum rich school, so she needs mommy to be present. And being an entrepreneur, working full time, and be a mommy, and there's millions of women out here that does this every day. I give my kudos to you guys because it's work, it's hard, it's a lot of work. Melanie, if y'all don't know, she raised 4 boys by herself. She's a superwoman. Okay, so single moms, y'all are superwomen, especially when y'all got several. Because this one right here is 2 kids and 1. So for those of you who got 2, 3, 4, 5, and more, my hat goes off to y'all ladies. But yes, I left the government after a decade to be a full-time entrepreneur. But what's priceless is what I learned along the way.
Yes. So before we get with the questions and answers, since we're halfway through the show, let's take a quick commercial break. And guys, get your questions ready because when we come back, we're going to break this business credit down. So by the time you leave here tonight, you're going to be able to start your business off right.
Let's do it. Do you want to sit on my lap? You want to sit on my lap? Mm-hmm.
The A game. I just love how that commercial is because you got to get your energy. And you men looking to get that energy back, get right back with Charles Brinkley right here at Feel Good Talk. So we're going to get right back to the first time with business credit. And I'm here with Tyra Jacqueline and the little princess that's ready for bed. But she getting ready to doze off because that's my little youngin' that runs all across this world, the cities with us because, you know, we're trying to get this information to the masses. So make sure you share, like, and follow, and make sure you share this information with someone you may know that needs to start working on their business credit. So Tyra, one of the questions that I was fumbling over because I'm new to this space, like I said, when I did my business credit, I just was doing it because I had to. I needed somebody else's money. I just jumped out there. I had my hair license for so long, and I just needed to start my own because you got tired of, the competition, people not paying their bills and not telling you, closing up shop on you. So I went through a lot until I made the decision to open up my own business. But what are the credit bureaus? I know Lexus, and different ones that actually report for the business side of credit.
Okay, so for the major credit bureaus for business credit is Duns and Bradstreet. That is the most popular one that everybody knows about for the most part. And that's where you get your pay debt score from. There's also an Equifax business credit. There's an Experian division for business credit, and there's also something called IntelliScore. And but the main 3 or the first 3 that I named that we want to be most concerned with is Duns and Bradstreet, the Experian. I'm gonna pull. I forget the entire names. I got notes right here too. I'm gonna pull up those notes as to what they're called. But both Experian and Equifax both have a business division when it comes to business credit, and then Duns and Bradstreet is what mostly everybody knows about. And somebody just asked, how do they get my contact information? I'll send it to you, Ronald. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in. If you have any questions for me or Melanie, you can put it in the comment. You can also inbox us as well. If you're watching us live, throw a 1 in the chat. If you're watching any other replays, throw 2 in the chats. If y'all learn anything tonight, show us some love. Put some fires in those comments. Right. Give us some hearts. Give us something, okay? Thank you.
Yes, because we want to get y'all where it needs to be. So like I was telling them earlier, basically it starts with getting that EIN number, the employee identification number, and then establishing yourself either LLC. They can do sole proprietor and work under their name or trade as. I do suggest that they at least start with the LLC. We had a question earlier, what was the difference in the S Corp and the C Corp. And I said, I know once you start growing your business, that's when you want to look into more of the corps. So can you break that down a little bit for us?
Well, I'll say this. Melody and I, we're not CPAs. So, but what Melody did say that's correct is when it comes to corporations as a S Corp or a C Corp, that comes with, you know, how much money you're making, because normally those were people with more money. And what's really important about that is the tax implications. So that's why
right.
you
the
really,
number of employees.
Yeah, tax you're right, and the number of employees, all that good stuff. So that's something you want to consult with your CPA about. Most people start off as a LLC. I would never advise anybody to start off as a sole proprietorship. Why? Because being a sole proprietorship is the same as yourself. You will be personally liable for everything as a sole proprietorship. And the whole point of establishing business credit is to separate your business entity away from yourself, to separate your personal from your business, even though it's not 100% separated. It's not. We're going to go over that in a second. But the whole idea of getting business credit is to separate yourself, your business self, no matter how many business entities you have, get it away from your personal. And with business credit, with good business credit and good personal credit, you can double and possibly triple your actual borrowing power.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, guys. So you see, we on the same page because you want to protect yourself. That's why it's called limited liability corporation. And that's the first place you want to start off when you're building business. And also I told them, the business not open until you open that bank account. A lot of us think when we're out there getting the licenses and different things like that, their business is open. But they do need a business account and not Chime, Cash App, Apple Pay. They're not the way to go.
Not at all. So first and foremost, your business is actually not born until your business bank account is established. I don't care how long you've had that LLC. I don't care how old the operating agreement is. I don't care how long. What did it say on that state of Secretary of papers? The Secretary of State paper. Your business is not born until you have a business bank account. You are doing yourself a disservice if you are just using Cash App. Even that, I don't care if it says, "Oh, it's a business Cash App." That means nothing. Okay, so stop using Chime. Stop using Cash App for your business, Venmo, whatever. Okay. Use your business bank account. Have your business revenue going into your business bank account. And another thing is, you're not supposed to pay your bills from your business bank account. Now, can you transfer it to your personal and do it like that? Yes. But do not pay bills out of your business bank account.
Not for your personal accounts. You only pay your business bills.
Only your business bills, not your personal. Okay.
And we understand that the way of the world, all of us got Cash App, all of us got Apple Pay, and these other subdivisions of banking. If you're using it, because we know, a lot of us are vendors, a lot of us, are on the go, and people be like, "Can I Apple Pay you?" Because that's the new wave. They can Apple Pay you, Cash App you all day long, but you need to put those services on a daily deposit. Because you can set it up that at night at 12 p.m., 1 a.m., whenever is your deadline for the end of the day, have that deposit go into your business account every day so that a record of what you're making through those devices is going into the business account. So that's a good way. We're not going to sit here and say you can't use it. We know you're using it. Just make sure that you're depositing it and not using a Cash App card. Because when you go for a loan, those records don't matter. They want to see the bank account.
Exactly. Yep. And Ms. Mel got that. And plus, I need y'all to understand, too, I don't care how you're receiving the money. The alphabet boys are watching. So if you think you're getting by just because you're using Cash App and not a bank account, you're not.
Yes, and I explained that too earlier, that those companies, I had a good friend of mine, she's a jeweler, and she used to go all around to the hair salons and, sell her jewelry, and she was taking Cash App. And the first year, she like, shoot, I'm going to pocket this money, I'm going to hide this money, it's no hiding it. When the end of the year came, she did over $65,000 through her Cash App, and best believe, Cash App sent her a 1099 so that she could report it, because they wasn't going to be responsible for the taxes of that money coming in. Because when you deposit the money into your bank account is the fee. That's where they make their money. Now, the average person wants their deposit to hit immediately, so they're willing to pay that 1-2% fee. But there is a way around the fee. But then you're waiting 1 to 3 business days to have your cash available into your account. So now if you got a lucrative business and you have hundreds of dollars coming in daily, you probably can do the 1 to 3 days, because every day something is hitting that account so that you can save on fees. You always want to think about the fees, because another problem I have with our businesses is, especially our neighborhood stores, is charging us for swiping your debit credit card. I just was charged a week or two ago $1 for doing Apple Pay. And we know as business owners, these devices, which is called merchant services, is for the merchant to get 100% write-off at the end of the year for all those fees, because it's the word I'm looking for is it entices the consumer to spend more. Most people don't carry cash, right? So if you have a card to swipe and you're in the store and the item you wanted to spend $30, but it's $39.99, because you have a credit or debit card, you're going to spend that extra $10. So the store is actually making more money because they're taking credit and debit. So guys, I called down to the city about that one, because I think we have to come up with a petition to stop people from double dipping. Inflation is bad enough, but if I go in a convenience store and willing to pay the convenient price, I shouldn't be conveniently charged an extra price because I went to the store in my neighborhood, because we're supporting our neighborhood stores by going in them. So it has to be some fairness. So back to our business credit 101 tonight. So we talked about getting established, opening up the bank account with a credible bank. I really like PNC in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area for business accounts. I think they do have a great merchant service, and they are professional and been a long time working with business owners. You do got to have a decent credit personal score to get any lucrative loan credit with them. So that's why we're going to show you how to build. So I was telling them about the net 30, because normally when they talk about having business credit with no personal credit, it's going to be from a supplier, not from a lender. And that's the difference. And I think that's what needs to be cleared, because so many people go out on social media and say, oh, you don't need personal credit. We're going to show you how to get business credit. You're only going to go but so far. Is that correct?
That is correct. And so the myth with business credit is people think as soon as they get their EIN or their LLC, oh, I can get business credit. First and foremost, business credit take about 3 to 4 months to build up, period, once you start. And when you start building up with your business credit, you want to set yourself up in a way that in the future to keep on building business credit, because the business credit builds on top of each other. Melanie spoke about the tier ones, but then there's a tier 1, there's tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. You need to set the foundation up properly first to keep on building. That's number 2. And number 3, you always want to be in the position to build yourself up properly to get business funding in the future. Even if you don't need it now, you never know when you're going to need it. You never know what God going to put in your plans and in your path. Now you're going to say, oh, now I need funding. And you can get way more money in business funding than you can get a lot in personal credit too. if your revenue and your credit is personal credit is straight. But why do it on your personal if you can do it on your business? So, in which you can get a whole lot more money there too, when it comes to personal and business credit. So, you got to get your foundation straight. People make a lot of mistakes when they're building your business credit. I've done the same thing, and learn from my mistake, guys. And one big mistake people do is they're using their cell phone as their business phone, and that's what you're putting on applications for business credit. Nope. You need a dedicated phone number, a local phone number, and an 800 number. So there's a lot of steps into making building business credit. It takes time. It does take patience. Melanie was talking about some of the Net 30 accounts. Another thing with Net 30 accounts, if you're new to business credit, sometimes because you're so new, you actually have to prepay some of those Net 30 accounts first before you're extended the line of credit, which is fine. So don't spend a whole bunch of money. Prepay some of those. Just, like for example, we're walking billboards, right? So one thing you could do is get some T-shirts made for yourself. There's a Net 30 company account called Shirtsy. Okay, I might say put on my shirt Credit Bay, BAE, something like that, and do $200 worth. So because I'm new to the business credit, I have to prepay that account. Just go ahead and do the $200. Then after that, they'll extend me the lines of credit. And another thing, when it comes to business credit, it differs in personal credit, where once you start using your business credit, you have to keep using it. This has to be a continuous cycle. You can't use it and stop using it, because what you need it to report, and it takes 3 to 4 months for it to start reporting to the business credit bureaus. And so that's what the Net 30 accounts, and you want 5 of those. And what's important, another thing, just like this is where it's similar to personal credit, you want accounts that actually report to the business credit bureaus, because there's a whole lot more different types of business accounts that we use for our business that don't report at all to the business credit bureaus. So you want to pick vendors with the Net 30 vendors that do report to the actual business credit bureaus. And you're going to want 10 altogether. But when you start off with your 5, be choosy. Make sure you are picking companies that actually report to the 3 credit bureaus, because the goal is for you to start building up scores on each bureau. And starting at the bottom, at the tier 1s, you're starting with the Net 30 accounts, just like that. And as Melanie said, your personal credit got to be good too. Why? Because when you are applying for business credit cards, they need to know that you're an all around straight person. And the bottom score that says you're pretty straight on your personal credit is a 680. What the goal is 720 and above when it comes to business credit, because what people don't understand is when you apply for business credit stuff, they do soft inquiries on your personal credit as well. So you may not even know, you don't even know that they even checked your credit, because the soft inquiry don't show up. But guess what? They checked. So bottom is 680. And Melly and I come across a lot of people who need help with their personal credit, and they say, hey, well, I got this business, I want business credit too, or I want to start this business. Fine, get your personal straightforward, because you can't do nothing with your 540 right now. You need a whole nother 140 points, and not just any 140 points. We talking about FICO points, which is going to take some time to build up. So this takes, just like personal credit, it takes time, it takes diligence, and it takes consistency. Don't start and stop. If you want to do this right, do it right. There's no shortcuts to it. The only shortcut to it is for business credit is if you got a high personal credit score and you can skip a tier or 2. And that's when you got like a 720 or 750. But most people don't have that, especially the people that we come into contact with. But like I said, it takes time. Be patient, okay? We know Rome wasn't built in a day.
Absolutely. Good information, guys. See, that's why we're going to have different segments, because this is not something you're going to get in your first sitting. You got to be patient, and you got to be, you got to plan this out, because you got to go in with a strategy. You want to know that you're going to get your first 5. Like Tyra said, be choosy. Make sure it's something you can use. You don't want to just pick up a line of credit and it just sit there and it because it's not going to help you. So make sure that these companies that you choose and is something that you can order from and take advantage of the things that you're buying. And especially people that does shirts and different things. Man, that was a good tip, because I'm getting ready to use them, because we are walking marketing, so we can make our own shirts. And even when I had first started this financial service run, I still go out and vend. So what I do is I bring positive t-shirts that I can make myself and get the attention to the table. And being positive, now I can talk about financial literacy, because we know that's not an easy subject. So whatever business you're in, you got to make sure you're putting out the sauce. Basically in any business, it's like a mousetrap, right? Because you got to know what's the flavored cheese that's going to catch your consumer. So that's why being in business, you definitely want to know what business you want to be passionate, and then have a plan so you can execute it. So Tyra, thank you so much. And once they get those 10, and let's say 3 months go by, they got some good on-time payments, they worked on their credit, say they had a 680. Now, where can they go for tier 2?
That's when they could start with gas cards. You may be able to start with some good store cards. And once again, you want to use things that is applicable to your business. Like, we got like Staples, Home Depot, Best Buy. And then, we got some more heavy hitters after that. But I think Sherwin-Williams, the paint people, they got like a lot of the actual merchants that we use have business accounts, but they don't market that a whole lot. So a lot of the places we go, Home Depot, Lowe's, and also you see this crazy child. They actually have business accounts, guys. Okay, Office Depot. If you got a home base, whatever type of business you got, you gonna need supplies. I mean, hey, I buy printer, paper.
Oh yeah. But Apple is going to be a little harder.
Oh yeah.
Apple, you probably tier 3 or 4 to get Apple.
Yeah.
Because Apple already looking for a personal credit score of at least 680. They one of the harder companies to even get credit with on the personal side. But because this is your computers and they have the cash registers and the iPads and everything, they will give you business credit after you establish those first couple of tiers. And you see, that's the difference in personal and business. You're working off the tiers, and then you're going to have different pointing with the Duns and Bradstreet, and then they have the business credit from Experian and Equifax. So guys, these are things you want to take note to. Make sure you got a healthy bank account, a good bank. We always suggest credit unions because they usually give you a better interest rate. But you also want a commercial bank, because when you're moving and shaking, you want to get to your money too. Because those good credit unions don't have a lot of assets. So you got to know how to bank. And the goal is to be millionaires, guys. And you're going to need more than one bank account, because we talked about that last week. The FDIC only insures up to $250,000. So we need to know all of this when we become business owners. So Tyra, we have a few more minutes before we wrap it up. So what would be your advice when basically just getting started? We kind of covered the main things they need to do. We also will have lists of stores and businesses you can get back to us in our inboxes right here on Feel Good Talk, so that we can share that information. Like I always say, information is free. What's going to matter is, are you applying it? You got to apply the information to get the results. So what's your suggestion for people I always say, need an extra stream of income, because that's really important with inflation. And the best way to start is having a home-based business, whether you work with a company or you sell cakes, pies, dinners, but do it legally, professionally, so it can benefit, because we also have business funding. And the sad part is we have to work with companies that give funding to people with the 550 credit score, with the 600 credit score, and then they ask you what the interest rate is. What difference does it make when your credit score is a 550? You should just be happy. This when you get to those type of things, this is buy here, pay here. And we talk about that all the time. If you don't want to buy here and pay that extra interest, get your credit up. So what's your advice for our new time business people working on their credit and business credit? What should they do? And just give them a little tip before we leave this evening.
Well, I would say if you are looking for a type of business, always remember there's needs out here in the marketplace. If you want to know what type of business you can get into, think about what's needed in the community, period. Number 2, do you have a hobby? Do you have a hobby that most hobbies people have can be monetized? How about that? What's something you're passionate about? Okay. So our big thing is financial literacy, and our stuff is, hey, we wasn't taught this in schools. A lot of our parents didn't know, so they couldn't give us information we didn't know. Their parents didn't know. So we out here as financial literacy influencers, we be all over social media, and like right now we streaming on multiple platforms. In case y'all don't know, we on Twitter, we on LinkedIn, we on Facebook, we on YouTube, we on all these different platforms right now as we speak. As financial literacy influencers, because we want y'all to get this information. And I said it before, the game is free, but services you're gonna have to pay for. Okay, always keep that in mind. Mel, we do have a couple of there's some questions in the chat.
All right, let's take those questions.
Okay.
What if Cash App is connected to your business account?
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. You need a business bank account. Point blank, period.
So I guess they say in their Cash App deposit straight to their business bank account. That's perfect. As long as it's a business bank account it's linked to.
Okay, yeah, if that's linked, yeah.
It got to be linked. That's fine.
Okay.
So True Great Inflow and the 503. Yes, we're going to have an episode about the nonprofit with the 503 C's to make sure that you fill out the taxes and forms and save within your business any way possible. Absolutely. It's all about saving money. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Dickers. Yes. Izzy, what is the best thing, the best only banking for business? What is the best only banking for business? So what's the best bank just for business? I do like PNC. I don't do Wells Fargo for anything.
Oh no, but that kind of depends on what area you're in.
Yeah, it depends on what area.
But the major banks are always good. But no, I would never with Wells Fargo ever in my life. Never.
And also, another tip would be Key Bank.
I was getting ready to say that. You took the words right out my mouth, Mel. Key Bank, y'all. Look up Key Bank. Key Bank is good.
Awesome. For business. Yes.
And if any of y'all trying to get into Navy Federal, they do a very heavy audit when it comes to your business. And Mel, I would like to do a segment whenever you want on how to properly set it up from the very genesis of the business, because there's so many things that's so important that people miss along the way, and what you don't understand.
We can do that next week.
We can do it next week. All right, we can keep it going.
So put it on your schedule.
Yes,
and
I'll put it on my schedule.
She loves credit unions. That's where she has a business account. You guys are hitting all the good marks. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes, because and like we said, we learned the hard way, and this is what we want to do is share information. Karen also said, for this information, as I'm revamping something with my nonprofit next year. Awesome. Yes, hit us up anytime. We here to support each other. Love these reminders to share with my clients. I would make sure they watch this.
All right, Karen. That's right. Spread this information,
we would
y'all.
love to work with you. Wells Fargo is horrible. Yes, hands down on that one. Here in Virginia. Welcome from Virginia. I just left Hampton from the Jazz Festival. It was an awesome weekend. And we can come down there and do some financial literacy with your community.
Ain't nothing but a 5-hour drive.
Yes, that's why I love this platform, because we're trying to reach the masses, because we got to help each other, guys. One thing for sure, two things for certain. There's always going to be a recession. The question is, are you going to be recession proof? And being here on this station each and every Tuesday night, making Money Moves with Melody, we're going to give you all that we got to keep you recession proof and to keep you above water. Because, guys, as soon as you climb the ladder, you know, whether you vote or not, because I always encourage voting, they still got them keys and they want, you know, it's business. This whole thing is all about big business. You just got to join that. So, guys, thank you. It's connected to the business account. Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Guys, thank you. I hope this was informative. Thank you, Tyra, for joining us this evening. And we'll be right back at y'all next week here, making Money Moves with Melody, Tyra, and our princess. Yes, Bellamy is her name. And we will see you next week, same time, same place, talking about some more business credit. Thank you for coming tonight. Have a good one.
Guys, please share, and follow our videos. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Good stuff, y'all.
All right.
Thank you, John. You hear me? Okay, yeah, I took us over mute.
Yes. So that